Guys, we're back for another exciting episode of the hashtag Wednesday Match Play. I forgot to tweet this, so let's jump on that. I'm kind of excited for tonight's guest because I don't know if I've ever seen this product, let alone would consider wearing it. But now that I live in Florida, and granted, when I lived in Arizona, it would make sense. But I have a feeling that these golf shoes are a little more popular in places like Hawaii or the Bahamas, but we'll get to all that. Tonight's episode of the hashtag Wednesday Match Play, as always, is presented by Eat Sleep Golf. And for the next half an hour, we're going to talk about golf shoes, but not just any golf shoes, golf sandals. And this is a cool concept that I didn't really know this company exists. Like, I've seen golf sandals, right? Like, I played with a guy actually a couple of years ago that had, like, they weren't designer by any means. They were just like legitimate, like, Walmart brand sandals that he happened to have golf spikes on. So I'm excited to learn more about this product. So with us tonight from ZORIZ, and this is a company that I knew nothing about a week ago. I'm excited to learn more about it. We've got Mark Medley with us. So, Mark, welcome to the hashtag Wednesday Match Play.
Hey, thanks for having me, Ricky.
So give us the elevator pitch of what the heck this is, where it started. Like, tell me what you do and where it all came from.
I have a company named ZORIZ Golf, and we have a golf flip-flop. But there's no like flop in this sandal. It is built for stability and for the functionality of the game of golf, specifically for the golf swing. So it's actually built on a tennis shoe platform. So it has a rubber bottom and an EVA midsole. So it's very sturdy. And then at all the points in the golf swing where you need the stability and you need the structure, we dialed it in. It took years of research to do this. But we went to market last July, year so far.
That's awesome, man. Well, it's really cool to be able to learn more about this. Like, it's a unique product, I think, like in the grand scheme of things. Like, you see golf shoes, you go to the PGA store, there's 5,000 different pairs of golf shoes to choose from, but you don't see golf sandals. And I feel bad calling it a sandal, but I mean, flip-flop sandal, you know, is that. Now, let's go to the branding a little bit. Like, I love the hats and I love the shirts and the shaka that you got on. My old boss is from Hawaii. He's actually at Prince Phil Mackay Golf Club right now, so I'll make sure he sees this. But I'm curious kind of what the motivation to get into this space was, and kind of like just explain to me like where the idea came from and how you went from, hey, I want to wear flip-flops instead of golf shoes, to where you are today with the brand.
Over 10 years ago now, and I was actually I was on a golf trip with some buddies in Florida. And you know, a golf trip, you're playing 4 or 5 days. You're 18 in the morning. You're usually going to a different course, 18 in the afternoon. And by the last day of playing golf, I was kind of getting tired of golf and putting my shoes on. I was already thinking about the flight home. So I did not put my golf shoes on for the last 18. And I actually played just as well, if not better. And it actually slowed my swing down. I'm an old baseball player. I swing way too hard. It actually slowed my swing down. I shot a good round. So, and I liked it. I liked the way that the wind and the sun felt on my feet. It actually felt more like vacation than any round that I've played. So I'm just based just south of St. Louis, Missouri. Came back, played league all year in my flip-flops. Got some crazy looks, but again, my game really didn't change, and I felt good doing it. I just had a lot more fun with the game playing in flip-flops. But at the end of the golf season, I knew what was happening with my swing. I was sliding a little bit. It wasn't really good if there was a little dew on the course, or maybe if it sprinkled. And like I said, my heel was coming off. But the kicker was at the end of the season. So I was just wearing a normal pair of flip-flops. They broke. And they broke in the same exact spot. So that just kind of got my wheels turning. Hey, if we reinforce this here, if we build some support angles here and we put some spikes on these bad boys, we can come up with a golf shoe. So we did. And it was okay. And I didn't take it to market, but it took a while to really dial it in, because I wasn't going to bring something. This is not a gimmick. I wasn't bringing something to the market that, oh, well, that's cute. You know, somebody gets it for Christmas and they throw it in the closet. I wanted somebody to be able to shoot the same score that they're playing in their FootJoys in these sandals. And for the feedback we've been getting, so far, so good.
Okay, so the team at East Loop Golf does a great job every week supplying questions, and this week is no different. And their first question I've already asked, like, pretty simple, where the idea originate. But now the next question, the important question, where do we get to buy these things? Like, I'd like to like see them and try them on, but like, is it at the PGA store? Do I get them online? Like, where can I buy this stuff?
Yeah, right now we're mostly based online. ZORIZ.com, ZORIZ.com, and we're also on Amazon and we're on eBay as well. We are popping up all over the country, from California to Florida in green grass accounts, pro shops. We're in a couple stores in Myrtle Beach. I mean, really get emails every week, and we're setting up small accounts. But we've been in talks with some of the bigger stores, and hopefully for 2018, that's the direction we'll be heading.
Awesome. Now, I'm curious, how many different pair of these do you own?
Well, I have access to, we have 6 colors. I have access to all of them, but I play in 3. I was playing in the blue and the black, but I did play a couple weeks ago. I played 18, and our newest color is the tan. Well, I got to pull some of these out, and I was completely happy. So yeah, it was good.
Awesome. Now, what other products? Like, I saw the hats, I saw maybe a shirt or two. Like, what other products do you have available? Like, it's just not just the golf sandal.
Yeah, well, it's based on the golf sandal, but it's mostly just merchandise. You know, we want to kind of build our brand a little bit, and our brand kind of focuses on casual. So some of our products aren't for the golf course. So, you know, we have T-shirts, and but we do have collar shirts as well. But they're pretty straightforward. We just wanted to give something to complement the golf sandal that you can match the colors with. Love that a lot, so they can match their shirts, their skirts, their hats, their visors to the sandals, and we have some cool colors for that. But we also have some polos for the men, so we can kind of match up these color combinations as well.
Okay, the name, like, not at all what you expected. It's unique. It starts with a Z. I mean, that's a unique in of itself. What the name come from? What it mean? Like, there's got to be a story there. Well,
I get it all the time, and actually was invented by the Japanese. Japan is the second biggest golf market in the world behind the United States. We named them ZORIZ, and ZRIS. You can't trademark that. It's like trademarking the word shoes. So we made it a Z. We turned it around, made a cool logo out of it, and now there we go. Here we're off.
That's awesome. I'm glad that it's not just like, oh yeah, I just thought about it, and like it's got a story behind it. That's really cool. Now, I work for Troon, and Troon has properties all over the world, and we've got them in a lot of destinations like the Bahamas and Hawaii. Are these shoes popular in those places, and do you have the ability to track your specific demographics, and are they more popular in those types of climates?
They are. We're seeing, we do sell them at a club in Hawaii and Florida, Arizona. I mean, all the South is very popular. Because that's what I'm hearing. A lot of those golfers will buy more than one pair, so they can match with their outfits. But to me, is every state has bought multiple pair. But I'm guessing, even the northern states, that they're going to get some summertime and they vacation. For some reason, Wisconsin is loving some ZORIZ, because I get a lot of Wisconsin love.
I'm not sure that it gets above freezing in Wisconsin, does it? I've not been there. So.
I know, right? They're vacation, or they're wearing them in August or July. I don't know, but thank you, Wisconsin.
Any tour players, LPGA, PGA, supporting these? You got any big names on your roster?
No, we don't have anybody on board yet. We have a girl on the Cactus Tour, and then she's on the Women's Long Drive Tour. She was number 4. Alex Phillips is her name. Stuff on Twitter and Instagram of just like crushing the ball over 300 yards in these. She's on there's a tour that's picked up by the Golf Channel, and there's 4 events that she's on that, along with the men's. But she came on board earlier this spring, and she's supporting ZORIZ wherever she goes, and we're glad to have her.
So it's a non-traditional product, right? Like, it's not like you just, like I said, you don't go into the golf stores and find this just sitting, front and center. So what has been the reception of higher end daily fee resort clubs and some private country clubs that you've talked to?
There was definitely some pushback, and I expected that. but I want to let, clubs know that I'm not trying to replace golf shoes here, and I'm not trying to demean any tradition of the game. Like, I have a golf flip-flop, and I know what that entails. If I got to play Augusta, I'm not wearing my flip-flops probably on Augusta. I mean, I want to respect all golf tradition. I'm just, offering a casual alternative for somebody who might not either take golf as serious and they only play, maybe once a week or maybe not even that much. But even with the scratch golfer, this is something for them as well, because they're hitting balls. They might even live on a course where they can only get in 2 or 3 holes before the sun goes down, or they're they're on the putting green. This is you don't have to put socks on. You slip right into these. But kind of wrapping up your question on the golf question with a country club, I had somebody last week, and this was pretty funny. Gentleman, and they emailed me, and they needed some sandals, and it was a local course. And I came in, and the guy's like, "You dropping off some sandals?" And I said, "Yeah." And he goes, "I tell you what, sell, but I'm the first one to say that I'm wrong. These things are flying off the shelves." And it's because it's a good product. It's not a gimmick, and it's very functional.
That's really cool. Now, social media is a big part of all of our lives, and I am huge into Facebook and Twitter. The guys at work call me hashtag because that's pretty much my life is social media. So you guys are active on Facebook, Twitter, Instagram. You have a blog. What's that strategy look like? And are you the one posting all of that content, or do you have a team that works with you, or kind of what's your social media strategy like?
Yeah, it's mostly me. We have people who kind of work to try to build our Instagram, but we don't do as much on Twitter. We kind of focus on Facebook and Instagram, but most of the posts we encourage people who have ZORIZ to send us a video, send us a picture, and we will repost it. We're just trying to build a network because, social media these days, it's unbelievable, the reach. And I don't think that we would be where we are at after 1 year without social media. We had one post. I
didn't realize you were that new. Wow.
Yeah. 1 year. We had one post reach over 1.1 million hits with over 4,000 shares and 4,000 comments just from one post. It just went viral. It was crazy.
That's pretty awesome. Like I was gonna say,
that was just a picture of the sandals.
That's awesome. Yeah, social media. I could spend an hour talking about social media stuff that's happened just in the last month that is successful, and the success stories that come from that, and just the power of being able to communicate directly to a brand. So I'm glad that you're seeing that value. Now, I work at a property that has a dress code, and a lot of properties out there have a dress code. And I'm curious, if a dress code says closed-toed shoes, do you run into that a lot? And if somebody takes these on vacation and they're in the Bahamas and they're trying to play golf and they have a dress code, like, have you run into that very much?
I haven't yet. And I figured that I would run into this more. But the last place I played Mission Hills in Palm Desert, where the LPGA qualifier is.
Oh,
and
that's
a very
nice course. Thank you for the plug.
Yeah, okay, sweet. But yeah, no problem whatsoever. Me and the guys that I went with, we all wore them, and it was an awesome course. But I think especially in destination and warm weather courses, you probably wouldn't have. Now again, we're pairing these with golf shorts and polos and other proper golf attire. We're not wearing sleeveless T-shirts on here. So, but no, so far I haven't heard any one turn us away. But I think there's some common sense that comes with it as well. Like I said, if I got to play, some high end courses, some closed-toed shoes on just to respect the course.
Well, and that, I think from the top down, I think that there's a lot of respect to say about that versus just, no, I wear these because I choose to. Like, I can appreciate that. So, and, the Westin Mission Hills is a fantastic property. It's got a fantastic resort there and a couple of golf courses. And if they're allowing it, then I'd be hard-pressed to see a lot of facilities that wouldn't. So now I have this, grand vision. When I stay at a hotel, it's $100 a night or less, or I don't stay there. Shoes, same thing, $100 or less. I'm not going to buy shoes over $100. Granted, that's happened, but doesn't happen often. So what do these cost? Are they $50, $80, $200? Like, what's a pair of these cost?
$60.
Whoa, not what I expected you
I
to
know.
say.
Very affordable. So you can get yourself 2 pair. But yeah, a dozen Pro V1s pretty much cost the same thing. So I mean, it's not going to break the wallet. That's for sure.
And I'm going to lose those dozen Pro V1s by the time we hit the deck 9, so that's fine. I'm curious. So you have the golf shoes. It's pretty straightforward. We got a handful of colors. Do you have plans to expand that product line? Or are you looking to add more things to? I mean, the hats and things like that. But are you looking to add more things? Maybe a different model of shoe. What's kind of your growth strategy there?
We definitely do down the road. We're just we feel like we're scratching the surface with these. So we're going to stick with this model for a little bit. We probably will come out with some more, but we're going to go into some licensing. I can say we do have NCAA licensing that we're going to kind of launch for the holiday season. So we're pretty happy about that. I think that's going to be well. We have a couple other deals kind of in the works that aren't inked yet, so I really can't talk about them, but they're big major brands that are on board, and it just fits. And so we're still going to have ZORIZ, and ZORIZ is going to be front and center, but we're going to have some companies that we have a little bit of something for everyone.
That's awesome. So let's say that I buy a pair and they don't fit, because I wear shoes size like 9 to 11 and a half. Like, I don't know what shoe size I wear. I just whatever fits, right? So let's say if I buy them and I don't like them, or I don't like the color, or it breaks, or whatever the case is, do you have a return policy? And if so, what is it?
We do. I mean, we said 30 days on there, but I mean, a lot of times people got these for Christmas and then they didn't unwrap them until, let's say, June. If they didn't like them, I'm not going to be like, no, you cannot return these. So we pride ourselves on great customer service and bending over backwards to make people happy. So, but I think most people, when they play in them, they're happy with them. But yeah, if they want to return them, I mean, usually our policy, you just can't go about, play around and get them all muddy and then send them. I mean, be smart, kind of wear them on the carpet inside. But you don't really get the best feel, I feel, until you get out on the grass. But it'd be like wearing your golf shoes inside too, though. It kind of feels weird. Spikes inside just doesn't feel right. It doesn't until you get on natural turf. Until it feels the best.
Saw a guy last weekend at a bar in golf shoes, and it wasn't like he had just played. Like, it was like 3 hours after he had played. Like, take your shoes off. Like, why are you wearing your golf shoes at a bar? Like, I mean, whatever.
Exactly.
Now,
it's dangerous.
Now, let's go back to what you said there. You get them for Christmas and you don't use them until June. I've spent the last 5 years in warm weather climates. That still happens? Like, snow's a thing? Like, I could not imagine going, like, this past Christmas, it was 93 degrees, and I spent it on the beach. Like, I can't imagine not using. Oh,
well, I'm pretty jealous about that, because I'm right south of St. Louis, and it gets pretty darn cold here.
Well, so props to my teaching pro Dan Attaway, because he's not far from you, and he's a hashtag Red Hats fan, and he has to deal with that cold weather too. But he plays a lot of good golf. He plays French Lick quite a bit. He goes down there and plays quite a bit. So I'm from Indiana originally, so I understand the Midwest I just haven't been cold in a long time. Like, I have a fan on my desk right now because it's 68 degrees in here. I have to assume that you've been, but you're only a year old. Have you had the chance to take these to the PGA show yet in Orlando, or are you going to next year?
Yeah, we've been there twice. We went 2 years ago before we were open, just to kind of show people what was coming. We actually, on a small publication, named us one of the top new products. And then last year we were open, and then we introduced our black sandal down there. And I tell you that since we were open, when we were able to take orders, it kind of exploded. Coming back home and doing all the follow-ups, and I met so many nice people in the industry down there that's helped me out and really offered a kind advice, a kind hand, and just helped us out. And but it's weird when you're down there. I mean, people get double take. They walk by, and you'll get somebody who just like goes right to it. It's like, oh my gosh, I love these. To a lot of people who literally will pass you, and then they're like, they look over their shoulder a couple times, and then they're well, I have to, okay, what is it? What's going on here? So, I give them the elevator pitch 500 times, so, but it's fun. It's fun to see the reactions, and and then to follow up with these people and to still have some relationships with people that I met 2 years ago.
That's awesome. Well, I've been to the PGA show a handful of times, and it's just, I mean, it's impressive in of itself just to be there and to walk around.
Man,
so.
It's awesome.
Now, I assume, and I hate it when I assume, but where are these made?
We import them through North Carolina. They're made in China through a company out of North Carolina, and so we have a good relationship over there, and that's where we're making them at this point.
Have you had a chance to visit over there? Have you seen the factory, or have you not made it over there yet?
I haven't. I think it's coming soon. I think it's. I've heard a visit helps out in a lot of aspects with quality control and whatnot. So I'd like to make it over there soon and kind of see what's going on.
That's cool. I've been to China, and it's awesome. So I highly encourage you to, if nothing else, just to go for the food, because Chinese food here is not like Chinese food there. I can promise you that.
I can imagine.
The marketing strategy is pretty straightforward, but do you have a strategy that you're following, not with just social media, but also, you know, the website and print, or are you looking to change that? I mean, like you would never have told me if you said, how old is this company? I would have said 6, 7, 8, 10 years. But do you have a strategy that you follow, and are you looking to adjust that year over year as you release new products, or what's that kind of look like?
Well, it's been kind of tough this first year because we don't have a whole lot of data from a year ago that really is relevant to what we're doing now, because you're right. We were open, but nobody knew about us. I mean, heck, I'm a year in and you didn't know about us until a week ago. So right now we're kind of riding the social media buzz, but we are in talks with some companies that already have relationships with green grass accounts, you know, from coast to coast. And definitely when we bring in some of these licensed products, we're going to probably give it a full go on the ground level, you know, not just on internet. But right now, internet's been good to us, e-commerce, and so it's kind of sticking with social media right now, and see where it takes us.
So I didn't tell you this before we went live. We only have a couple of minutes left. Like that, who would have thought, hey, you're going to spend a half an hour talking about flip-flops? Well, I actually, funny story. So I have a pair of flip-flops, not golf related whatsoever, but I bought them at Kohl's like 8 years ago. And it was so cool because they had a beer bottle cap opener on them. I'm like, whatever. And I've never used them to open a beer. The most comfortable pair of flip-flops I've ever had. They go everywhere with me. I wear them all the time. So I can appreciate the flip-flop side of things. So a couple more questions before we jump to the back nine. Do you know how many you've sold? And if so, what's that number? And then out of what you sold, do you ever have negative comments? Like kind of a two-part question. Like how many have you sold, and what's your conversation like with customers that are buying them?
The number, I mean, the number's going up every day. I mean, we've hit our goals. We definitely, I want to say we hit our goals for our first year and have exceeded our goals. Most of our comments are positive. The main thing we got is the first shipment we got, the factory hand tightened the cleats instead of using the cleat tool. So we were losing some cleats, but we fixed that problem now. And then we encourage people to tighten them when they get them and before each play. And then even if on a green grass account, we tell the club there, you know, to tighten them up. But most of the comments that are negative we get are when people who want to make a negative comment before they even play in them. They're like, well, there's no way they'll hold my swing. There's no way you can play in these. All I ask is just play in them first. And then if you don't like them, okay, that's cool. But I think I've had people tell me that it's helped their game because they swing too hard. And some of my friends, and not just because they're my friends at golf, that's all they play in now is these shoes in the summertime. Now, springtime, when it's still a little chilly here in Missouri, you know, March, April, early May, heck, I'm wearing closed-toed shoes because I don't like my feet being cold. But when it's hot out, it's 90 plus, these are the perfect shoe.
So it was 81 when I came home today. That was chilly for me. That's cold in my part of the world. Now, I know that they're not popular really anywhere, and not a lot of courses even offer them. But there are a few that still do. Have you ever thought about doing cleated spikes? Like the actual legitimate spikes? Like not many public courses allow them anymore, but I know tour players still wear them. But in an effort to appeal to, you know, the tour itself, or Have you ever considered putting actual spikes on them, or would spikes actually fit on them?
I haven't even thought about, we have soft spikes that are removable now, but I haven't, an old school, like you're talking about a metal studs?
Yeah, there's still a lot of PGA Tour pros that wear them, and I find that interesting because a lot of courses don't even allow them, but guys still wear them.
Yeah, rebels. No, I haven't thought about that. I don't know. I feel like if I put metal cleats on them, I don't know. I feel like something bad would happen. I don't know. Somebody'd use them as a weapon, and it wouldn't turn out good for me.
Funny story. Speaking of a weapon, I had a 4-iron that broke when I was traveling recently, and I had the head was in my carry-on bag, and they said that I had to discard it because it was a weapon, and I'm like, it's a 4-iron. What am I going to do with a 4-iron? Yeah. Like, come on. I'm getting a new set of clubs, so it helped. Good timing, right? But I was not very pleased. But so awesome. I can't thank you enough for coming on the show tonight. This is fantastic. This episode is going to be on YouTube. It's going to be on iTunes, Google Play, SoundCloud, all over the place. But before I let you go, we got this segment called the Back Nine. So you said you're a golfer. Let's talk a little bit about you. You ready for your Back Nine?
Sure, why not?
What golf ball are you currently playing?
The Callaway.
Which one? They got a lot. You can't just say the Callaway.
I know. And I'll be honest, it's the one that has ZORIZ printed on it. I don't even know. I think it's like maybe a warbird. I don't know, but it's whatever's touting my logo.
That's good branding.
It's over
right
there. I could grab it.
I have to admit, so I work for Troon, and Troon tees are a big thing. Troon Golf and Troon Privé tees. When I play courses that are non-Troon, I may or may not break and leave a tee on every tee box. I'm just saying it might happen. Oops.
Okay.
What's your favorite golf movie?
Oh, favorite golf movie. I mean, I'm gonna have to say Tin Cup. I mean, you probably get that all the time, but
I actually get The Legend of Bagger Vance, which I'm okay with because it's
terrible.
Really? One day somebody's gonna say that. I'm gonna be like, really? Come on, guys. Like, that's not real. Tin Cup and Happy Gilmore are two of my favorites. I did just watch. They were actually on the show a few months ago. I did just watch Tommy's Honor. Fantastic movie, and it's fitting. I'm going to St. Andrews next week, so I'm actually playing the old course a week from today. So there's a lot of history with young and old Tom Morris, and to be able to see that, and I'm going to go see the graves just because the history associated with that, and I've had some people that have been there that said that it's worth seeing. So I'm going to go check that out, and just the history of it. It was good timing for that movie to come out right whenever I'm getting ready to go over there. So, and Tin Cup's my favorite, so good pick. What's your favorite color? I mean, you got like 6 to choose from for the sandals, but what's your favorite color?
I don't know if I've looked at the first 5 for so long, but the new one, the tan with the brown accent, I think it's so cool. Then the other colors were a little louder, and then we went to black, which is very popular, probably our most popular. But my favorite's the tan. I think it's cool.
All right, I can get that. Appreciate that. So I got a gin and tonic because I'm prepping. I'm going to London on my way to Scotland, so I got to drink some gin and tonics. So let's have a drink. Beer, wine, or spirits, I guess. It's a three-part. Three options there. Ooh. Beer, wine, or spirits.
I'm going to give you 2 answers there and say beer and wine. Budweiser.
Oh, come on, Budweiser.
The king of beers. The king of beers. So I'm going to give props to the Lou on that. And then red wine. I mean, I'm a red wine.
All right, I'll allow that. Red wine if I'm going to drink it. I have to be completely honest. I discovered this Cabernet at Aldi. I don't know if you've got an Aldi by you, but it's $3, less than $3 for a bottle, and it's awesome. Like, I mean,
$3 chuck.
I don't have to be a big spender. It's not even $3. It's like $2.87. What is your home course? You play a lot of golf. So what's your home course where you live?
It's called Crown Point. It's about an hour south of St. Louis. It's a destination. I mean, you're thinking south of St. Louis, probably not a big destination, but they have some timeshares on the course, and it's well kept.
Awesome. What driver is in your bag? You play a Callaway ball. You got a Callaway driver in there?
No, I have a Ping driver. And you're right. You're like, which one? And it's because it's like 2 or 3 years old, and I don't even know which one it is. It's at the G25 maybe.
I love you're so like relaxed about it. Like, yeah, whatever. I play whatever golf ball's got my logo on it. Oh yeah, whatever. I play whatever driver's in my bag. Like, you're so chill about it. Like,
hey,
I love that.
Not much time to play golf anymore. I'll tell you that right now.
That's awesome. Now, unfortunately, he has been in the news a lot this year. Most recently, very disturbing news, even more recent than his DUI that got him some trouble. But Tiger, he's all around me. I'm his biggest fan, and I still am. I still have a lot of hope for him, and I have hope for a big comeback. But do you think Tiger breaks Jack's record? Why or why not?
I'm going to say no, solely based on his chronic back pain. I've had some back pain, and I know a little bit about back pain. I'm actually a chiropractor as well. So I know how many swings, not just if you're playing well, you got to play 4 days, but there's 2 practice rounds, and how many swings you're doing on the practice before the practice rounds. I don't think his back can hold up for it. I think I hope with you. I've always grown up, following him. I think, I hope he has a good comeback, but I don't think his back holds up.
If this last surgery, the 4th surgery he's had on the same part of his back in like 18 months, if it fixes whatever's broken for, let's say, 5 or 7 years, and he has one more run, if he stays healthy and the back holds up, does that change your answer?
I don't see too many people who have 4 back surgeries that are coming out doing very well. But if
allow that.
But if, let's say he is like in the 5 percentile, and I mean, then yeah. If he can get back where he's playing as consistent as he was, and I think consistent's the word, yes. But 4 back surgeries, I mean, that's rough.
I'm gonna allow. That's a good answer. I like, especially coming from a guy that's a chiropractor, so I can appreciate that. And I owe my chiropractor a call. He's been calling me like 3 times in the last week, trying to get me to come back. Like, calm down. I'll go on vacation. I'll call you when I get back. And your final question of your hashtag Wednesday Match Play, man. Thank you so much for coming on the show to share your story. I'll make sure that links to the website are listed in the description below, and I'll make sure that this gets posted to the Google Plus Golf community. We got just shy of 26,000 members there. That I'm curious to hear what they think about this product, because to your point, it's not a gimmick, and I think that's the first thing people are going to think. Oh, it's a golf shoe it's a flip-flop great gimmick. It's not. It's an actual golf shoe that can be worn on a legitimate golf course and will potentially help your game. So that being said, is what's next? I mean, you're only a year in. You're just kind of getting started, but what's next for ZORIZ?
Well, like I said, more colors, licensing deals in the works, and just trying to probably get a ground force together where we can get them into some big box stores. And we're hitting the internet pretty well with online e-commerce, but I'd like to see them in more, whether it's a Dick's or Academy or a PGA Tour Superstore. We are in talks at this point, so I think that's coming up pretty soon for us.
That's awesome. Well, we're going to continue to follow the story here on Google Plus and the golf community here on YouTube. You're always welcome back on this show as new things pop up. If you have any breaking news or anything that comes up, you sign a new deal, I mean, you talk about the NCAA and all that stuff. So always welcome here on the Wednesday Match Play. As always on the Wednesday Match Plays, you have to remember to eat, sleep, golf.